Hello friend, how are you? Welcome to Tripan Study Center. Today we are doing most important chapter of history. What is the topic today? The Himalaya is a part of the geographical setting and the prehistoric culture of India. There is a most important topic, the Himalaya. The Himalaya are the world's largest and the highest mountain range, and these are the approximately 2,400 kilometers long. And their map show this range has been not be only a checked inventions but has also protected us from to the cold winds coming from the north. They also stop the monsoon wind from to the sea, which result in the rainfall in the northern plains. However, there are some mountain pass which through the difficult. Here show the most important map here of physical feature of India, but here show the Himalaya. Himalaya is the most important for the geographical reason, and here a geographical setting and the prehistorical culture and found on their Himalaya side. Their northern plan, and there is the most important here. They are provide us to the determine to the inventors, traders, missionaries, and this help in their developing culture, contact with the Central Asia, China and Tibet and ancient times. There is the most important for the Himalaya. There is the contact with the Central Asia, China and Tibet and the ancient time. In the northern western direction of the broken Himalaya is range content the major routes linking the Indian plan with the Iran and Central Asia through the Afghanistan. There is a most important data plan with the Iran, Central Asia through the Afghanistan, and this pass through the Golmals is the Balkonos and the Khyber passes. The Greeks, Sakas and Kushan and Hunas and the other four gun travel reached the India following these routes. And likewise is a Buddhist and other Indian element were carried out of Afghanistan and Central Asia through this mountain pass. There is a most important here. The next topic is the organized is the plan of northern India. There is a most important point. There is no show here on screen the point, but there is a plan of the northern India. There is a most important here. The Himalaya also provide to India with the three river system dominated by the Indus, the Ganga and the Brahmaputra. There is three rivers is the most important here, and this river is a made their respective reason fertility and the attracted both settled and the revenders. There is the most important here. The Indo-Plan is include of regional of Punjab, Sindh and irrigated by their tributaries of the rivers Indus, and they form a base fertilizer plant which has made for the region and bread basket of the subcontinent. It is called a so because there is a reason is very important for a wheat cultivation. The statics is the location and the richness of the Punjab region has attracted to the foreground. There is a more important attracted by the foreigners and invited to the sign ascent past. The Sindh region is include their global Indo Valley and the Delta. It is the Indo plan which is the witnessed the development of on the urbanization culture is called Harappan culture for the first time in the subcontinent. See the lesson 3. There is a next lesson over. The Gangotri is a basin, receive is a more rainfall and the more humid than the Indo-regional. There is a Gangotri is a plant is divided into three sub-regions, upper, middle and the lower. There is the upper plan of the rivers, the Ganges is a constitute there is a western and southern part of the Uttar Pradesh. This region has seen active culture developments in the ascent period, and this was the inhabited by there is a Aryan in the later Vedic period, and during which there is a prehistoric agriculture. Their middle is a Gangetris plant and which is the more fertilized and there is more rainfall include to the eastern Uttar Pradesh and Bihar. It is a region where the Mahajanpad authority state like Koshal, Kasi and Magad were established in the 6th century BC. There are two main religions of India, Jainism and Buddhism also took their birth here. There is the most important here is a Mahajanpad is a like Koshal, Kasi, Magad. There is the Mahajanpad. There is 16th century BC. The lower is a Gangotri is a plain. It constitutes the Bengal region. Their northern part of irrigated by the Brahmaputra. Their high range in the regions created dense forest and the marshes land, which have made it difficult for the development of settlement in the beginning. But it is a coastal area is served in an important channel of the communication with other regions of their is a subcontinent and also with their southeast is Asia countries. Tamaralipati and the Tamluk was on the important seaport of these regions, which is a play a significant role in commercially activities. The eastern India is normally referred to the coastal plain formed by the river is a Mahanandi on the other stem. The fertility is a coastal is a plan of their regions help in their development of agriculture society and culture, and this come into contact with the Gangotri's culture from the time of the Nalanda and Mauryas is a 4th century BC. Around AD is a 1000 Orissa began to develop here a district linguistics and culture identity. That is the most important. The Western India referred to the regions of the modern state of Rajasthan and Gujarat. It is known for there now there is a black soil. There is the most important here. That is known as from to the black soil, which is the good for the cotton cultivations. There is the most important for the cultivation of the cotton. There is a black soil. The third resort of the Rajasthan is surrounding by the semi-arid regions was not of fertility as the Gangatric plant. As a result, this region was not much favorable for the cultivations. However, later in the 8th century AD, with the growth of the irrigation and mechanism in their form of the Persian and the ways Rehat, many settlement is emerged here. Rajasthan is also the home of the Rajput clan. In the Gujarat, the fertilizer is the plan of the river, is a Sabarmati, is a Mahi, and the Narmada, and the Tapati as a broad is a purposely. There is a very long coastal lines to help to the Gujarat to develop is a contract with the other countries through its a port. The most important seaport of these regions has been to the Brikus, Kacha and the Brahus Broch. There is the most important here. The most important topic arrive here Peninsular India. There is the most important topic. Peninsular India is include the Deccan plateaus and there are coastal plain of the South India. There is the most important. Here to show the map. The plateaus is situated to the south of the Vidya Mountains. It is divided into three major regions and which are largely is corresponding to the northern state of Maharashtra and Andhra Pradesh and the Karnataka. The northern Deccan plateau is comprised of the part of their Maharashtra. A number of the Catholic cities inhabited by the people using to the copper and stone tools has been found in this region. Karnataka include the southern west Deccan and this region with the availability of the water and other resources has been to the more suitable for a human settlement. Then the northern part, there is a resource is the best for its rice of cultivation has been to known as the rice of wall of South India. It has been to there is born of contentions and between the different kingdoms. These regions were to the inhabited by the right from to the prehistoric time. There is the most important here prehistoric times. And the plateau regions also has a hilly terrains in the western and the eastern Ghat. There is a western Ghat rises sharply close to the western coastal and taprings is eastward into the plateau. They are cut by a series of the passes at Janar, Kanharis and Kerelis, and this is a serval and trade is a routes is a connected their ports along their best coast. At the southern end of the western Ghat is the Palaghat Pass, which is a link to the best coastal to the Kaveri and valley is a play an important role in their Indo-Roman trade in the ascent period. And the eastern Ghat is emerged to the more gradually into the plateaus and the coastal plain. The coastal plain is a constitute the state of Tamil Nadu in the state at Kerala on the west. In that Tamil Nadu is a river were seasonal. As a result, the people of the regions has to depending more on the tank erosions than the earlier time. However, is the Kaveri Delta has been to the major reasons of human attraction. It's a provided to opportunity for the cultivation of rice and witness to the flourishing of is a Sangams culture in the earlier historical period. And the ports such as the Arik Commandus and the Kaveri Patulum gave the impetus of the Indo-Roman trade in the earlier century of Christian's era. The questions era that Tamil version involved districts is a linguistics and cultural identity of it is a oven. So our next topic is the most important here, environment impact. There is environmental impact. What is the environment impact here? The Himalaya regions, there is the most important here. The impact of the environment in Himalaya, there is the most important here. The settlement of the people in any region is a very much development on it is an environmental condition. The environment condition is the most important to people. The environment is taken as the surrounding or condition in which the various species, man, animal, and plants exist and function. The environment mainly is comprised of the elements such as the climate, landscape, river, species of plant and animals, flora and fauna, etc. Now let us see how the environment has influence in the life of the people and their history since ancient past. A semi-arid region is an advantage to the people for a settlement purpose. For example, the Sindh regions having these types of climate in the sand period or resulted in the flourishing is a Harappa civilization. It is also helped the growth of urban settlement. Similarly, there is a rise of the Patliputra and the importance of Magad in a Bihar can also be explained in the relation to the physical feature and environment. And Patliputra was surrounding by there is a rivers, namely to the Ganga, Sun and Ghatak, and which are provide to the natural defense as well as internal communication. Moreover, there is a fertilized Indo-Gangotri's plan helped in there is the maintenance of the strong population base. The environmental condition also determine their source potential of regions and their forested is a region can be a rich source of timber. Whereas to the coastal regions is a yard there is sea product. The hilly regions with the rock containing the minerals ores and as a can lead to there is a development of metallurgy and the extractions of metal and their use for a tool and other purpose may be added to their standard of living. For example, Magad was localized in their proximity to the iron ores, mines and source of stone and timber in the regions of their Chota Nagpur is a plateaus. This is strengthening there is a position of the Magad. The substance is a pattern is also influenced by the environmental condition and the regionals is covered by the river plain have a alluvial soil. The fertility of the soil is a help in the surplus and production. The types of soil also determine the crop pattern. For example, black soil is good for the growing of cotton. The surplus is the production result exchange activity which is the development is a trade on large scale. On the area is gifted with the is navigable is a river has a well developed trade and communication network. Over ancient literature like the Jataks as other texts is a mention is a many reverence route in the ancient India. Similarly, the coastal route is a promote there is a long distance trade with the different countries. The mountain pass are also very important in this context. For example, the Palghat Pass linked it to the east and west coast and thus there is a help in the growth of Indo-Romans trade in ancient time. And thus we find that is a physical feature and environmental help us to the unfolded historical process of the religions and the diversity of India is a subcontinent present on the uneven pattern of historical development. The area which is where rich as a become important will those with the less sources is lagged behind. It is important to the observe that the settlement pattern and made of the life depend on the local resource is utilization which in their turn to dependent on the technological development in that region. There is a most important our most important topic arrive here prehistoric is a civilization. There is a part of the geographical setting and prehistoric culture of India. There is a most important topic is a prehistoric is a civilization. There is a most important here. What is a prehistoric civilization here? There is the most important question. The prehistoric period is that a period of our ancient past for which we do not have a written records. Therefore, our knowledge of the culture which developed in the period is the based on only the materials found in the archaeologically is excavations. And the earliest as a man living during this period made tools and implement of the stone found in the surroundings, and this tool helped him to be hunt and gather of food ordered to the satisfy his hunger. Since there is earliest tools used by the humans were made of stone, and this phase of human development is known as the Stone Age. There is a stone age, and in this lesson we shall trace the evolution of prehistoric man from a hunt and food gatherer to be a food producer. This change did not be take a place of a sudden and took us several hundred thousand years. On the basis of their different types of tools and techniques, the stage of human development in the prehistoric period are described as the Paleolithic or Old Stone Age. There is a Mesolithic and Middle Stone Age, and the Neolithic or New Stone Age. There is a most important topic here arrive. The first civilization here is the most important here, Paleolithic. Paleolithic culture, the Paleolithic age of civilization. There is a most important here civilization of Paleolithic. The Paleolithic civilization, what do you mean to Paleolithic civilization here? And what is the here term? The term is a Paleolithic is derived from to the Greek word paleo, which means old, and lithic is mean a stone. Therefore, the term Paleolithic as refer to the old stone age. There is a archaeologist has dated this culture to the Pleistocene and period about 2 million years ago. The Pleistocene as a period is the geologically is a period of the age when the earth as a surface was covered with ice and weather was so cold that a human or plant life could not survive. But is there tropical regions where ice melted, the earliest species of the man could be exit. The people live near the hillocks and use only stone tools for hunting and their protection. However, the choice of the raw material used for the tool making the varied from the reasons to be reasons and depending upon its ability. The materials used was the quartz is available in their hilly area of different regions. The basalt is found in the Maharashtra, the region, and the limestone in the Karnataka regions. On the basis of the nature of progress is made in tools, types, and techniques. Their Paleolithic culture has been divided into three phases. These are first year lower earlier is a Paleolithic, and second year middle Paleolithic, and third year upper or late Paleolithic. This is a phase cover a long period is a ranging is a broadly from to the 5 lakh to the 10,000 BC. There is a 5 lakh to the 10,000 BC. The first point here, tool of the Paleolithic period. There is a most important here point. There is a Paleolithic as a tool. There is the most important here. The main tool of lower Paleolithic face wearer is a hand axe, is a cleaver and chopper. And these are called chopping tool. And this ware is a rough and heavier and ware made by the chopping the side of the stone. Gradually sharper and less heavy tools come to be made. The flash tools is a chopper is a pieces were to the chief tools during to the middle Paleolithic period. The tools of upper Paleolithic period is a primarily is a consist of the warness and the scraper. There is show the figure. Let's now to discuss is a brief their chief feature and use of some of the tools mentioning above and their handwear decks and the butt and the border and the working is edges is narrow and this were used for cutting the trees or digging the roots. The cleaver had a bike-shaped edges. They are the mean to the splitting object like their trunk of trees. The choppers where there is a massive is a core tools with the unifacial working edges and where use of the chopping purpose there is a weavings where like a flat and blades and this were used to the engravings on sharp stone, bone or rock. The scrapers were is also made of the flax and this tool is serve the purpose of the obtaining bark of trees and skin of animal. Here show the tools of is a Paleolithic is a period. Here show the most important chopping tools and hand axes of the is a lower Paleolithic and there is a most important tool is there as tool. There is a most important here is a chopping tools and hand axes tools of the Paleolithic era. The next figure here shows there is a chopping tools and hand axes of the lower Paleolithic ends. There is the most important tools here shown in this diagram. And also here show the chopping tools and hand axes tools of lower Paleolithic ends. There is the most important tool here is made by the stone. There is the most important for this time tools here of Paleolithic ends or lower time. The next topic is here a geographical distribution of the Paleolithic sites. There is a most important here a geographical distribution. There is geographical division also. The geographical distribution of the Paleolithic sites suggests that is a culture was spread to throughout there is a length and breadth of the Indian subcontinent. There is show the map in the northern Kashmir Valley and the Swan Valley is the Rawalpindi now to the Pakistan. The Rawalpindi is also here this time is a Pakistan side as have a yard there is a Paleolithic tools. In the Rajasthan is a Paleolithic tools were found at the site along the river Luni. In the western India, Paleolithic tools were also discovered from side of the river is a Sabarmati, Mahi, and there is a tributaries is a Gujarat. In the Maharashtra, their most is important site are Nevasa, a tributary of Godavari and Patna in the Tapti river system. There is a most important here. In the Madhya Pradesh is a rock shelter or Bhimbetka near of Bhopal. Bhimbetka is near of Bhopal and is a Adamgarh in there is a district of Hosanabad have had tools from to the Paleolithic to the Mesolithic period. In the Uttar Pradesh is a Bengal Valley is a region is a broadly from Allahabad to the Varanasi is the most is a prominent side. It shows the human occupation of the area is a continuously form to the Paleolithic period. There is a most important here. Here the most important map here, Paleolithic side, there is a most important, there is a dark river valley and there is a Gangos, Buddha, Pushkar. There is a most important side here, Paleolithic side, there is a map. And I also show here is the most important for the Paleolithic of as in a map. Toward the east, Assam and another Boeing's area, including to the Meghalaya, Goro Hills, have added to the Paleolithic is artifact is a Paleolithic tools has also been found of various sides of Bengal, Orissa and Bihar. In the peninsular India, is a Paleolithic tools has been reported from the Andhra Pradesh and Karnataka. In Tamil Nadu, on important site in the Rampakkam and Chinagupta regions. These substance of the Paleolithic cultures as was is based on mainly on the hunting animal and gathering fruits and roots. In other words, the people where is a primarily is a hunters and gathering with no settled or habitation. That is the most important. On the basis of the above discussion, we can conclude that a Paleolithic culture of the prehistoric is a period where while spread throughout the Indian subcontinent. The study of the tools indicate a gradually process in the tool technology which must have lead to the better ability of resource. The next era, substance of pattern. There is a most important. There is a athletics people is a prestige to do hunting and food gathering. For their substance, they are made of simple stone tools for hunting, cutting, digging, and other purpose. There is a lead to the is a nomadic life and the migrated to place where a plant animal resource along with the water were easily available. There is a most important here. A middle stone as civilization culture. There is a mean to the Mesolithics. Mesolithics as there is a most important topic. There is a part of the geographically setting and prehistoric culture of India. There is the Mesolithics. So what do you mean to hear a Mesolithics as era? The term of Mesolithics is a combination of two words, Meso and Lithics. In a Greek, their word the Meso mean there is a middle and Lithics mean to the stone. Another the Mesolithic stage of the prehistory is there also known as the Middle Stone Age. It was a translation of phase between to the Paleolithic is the and the Neolithic age. There is a most important here. There is a phase between to the Paleolithic and Neolithic age. On the base of archaeological discovery, there begins of their Mesolithic age in India subcontinent in the date to around of 10,000 BC. There is a most important. The period of witness their rise in a temperature as a result of which their climate become warm. This change further resulting in the melting of ice of the earlier period and both there about a change in the flora and fauna. Though man was still in the hunting gatherings stage, he now started to fishing and some is a domestication of animal. The main tool they use is called is a macrolithos or a small stone tool. The rock is a paintings found at the Bhimbeta near of Bhopal. Bhimbeta is near of Bhopal beginning to a period indicate that the artist is a taste of the people. The first point arrive here and there is a tool of Mesolithic period. There is a most important here. The macrolithics used during there is a Mesolithic period were very small size as varying in their length from 1 to 8 centimeters and were largely made out of choppers to the flexed piece. And some of these tools have geometric forms such as triangles, lengths and trapezium. And these tools could be attached or fix other objects to form arrows or spear. The next year, geographical distribution of the Mesolithic site. There is a most important here. The distribution of the Mesolithic site indicates that is a Mesolithic cultures cover almost the entire India, from the north to the south and east to the west. Important sites of this culture are Langhozans, district of Mehsan, and Gujarat, and Bhimbetka is near of Bhopal. In the Madhya Pradesh, Chopanis, Mando, and near Allahabad is a Balloon Valley. In the Uttar Pradesh is a is Bhawanpur and district of is a Barodhan. In the West Bengal and Sangakula is a district of Verli. In there is a Karnataka and Tuticorin in the southern Tamil Nadu. There is a most important here. Here show the tools of there is the Mesolithic period. There is a most important tool here. There is a square, triangles, and there is a other range of the geometrical shape here present in this diagram. There is the most important tools of the Mesolithic ants here shape on different size and different of the era. But here this era of the Mesolithic as there is the most important tool here geometrical shaped. The next here is a substance of pattern. There is a most important substance pattern of the Neolithic period. The Mesolithic people is a subsisted on the hunting and gathering. But now there was a shift in the pattern of the hunting from to big animal in the Paleolithic period to their small animal which could be attracted with the help of the bow and the arrows. In addition to this fishing and the wolvings also become important. The is a faunous reminder of the cattle, sheep, goat, buffalo, pig, rat, and bisons as a hippo, dog, fox, is a lizard, tortoise, and fish, etc. Has been found at a different Mesolithic side. There is the most important here, and there is the most important substance pattern here. The Neolithic civilization and their advent of the food production. There is a next topic. There is a part of the geographically setting and the prehistoric is a culture of India. There is a most important here Neolithic. There is a last phase of prehistory is a term as a Neolithic. The term of Neolithic is a derived from a Greek neo, which means to the new, and the lithics means stone. Thus, their term is a Neolithic as referred to the new stone as. There is a new stone as of human culture. In the Indian is a subcontinent. It is dated back is around 8,000 BC. There is around of 8,000 BC. The term Neolithic was acquired by the Jones is a love bog. Their chief characteristics of this age was the new types of around and published stone tools. This period also is a mark their beginning of cultivation of plant and is a domestications of animals. It is a lead to the beginning of the shattered life and the growth of the village settlement. The Neolithic is a culture has a flowing characteristics. There is the most important here a beginning of agriculture activities and domestication of animal and gradings and polishing of a stone tool having a sharp edges and use of poetry. The first topic here a mean of Neolithic revolution. That is the most important here. Sometime this period is a term as the Neolithic revolution on the basis of the important change in a man as a social economical life. The use of the sharp and polished Neolithic tools made it easier to cultivate the soil. It was accompanied by their practice of domestication of animal, and this change is a turn resulted in the emergence of settled agriculture communities. The Neolithic is a people also produce a pottery for their purpose of storing of grain. That is the most important. The Neolithic people also produce a pottery for there is a purpose of storing of grain. As the redevelopment in the Neolithic phase greatly affected their human life. Some scholars have used the term the Neolithic revolution to significance this change, but most of the scholars believe that this change thought the significance should be a view in their context of earlier progress during to the Paleolithic and Mesolithic as and thus should be considered as a evolution rather than to re-evolution. The next tool of Neolithic period. There is the most important tools here. The Neolithic tools consist of ground tool having smooth surface and well-rounded and symmetrical shape. The gratings is made of tool sharp, polished and more effective than those it is earlier period. The ground stone tools of the Neolithic period is including different types of axes called salt. Besides the stone tools, is the size of the pillar has also is added is a various types of bone objects such as needles, scrapers and warrior and arrowhead and pendant and bangles and earrings here. Here show the tools of different size in here in picture. There is a most important. There is also show here diagram. There is a most important. There are different size. And there is a Netflix as tools. Here is the most important. There is a very sharp and there is the most important for the hunting. This tool is the most important because there is a very sharp and the kill the animals the one first time. There is a most important tool here. This tool is made by the bone. There is a most important here. The bone has a crack them and there is a make a tools. There is a bone tool. Here show the bone as a tools. There is a most important here shape and size. And there is a size and there is 25 and there is a very sharp. And there is sharpness is the very useful the killing and hunting of animal. There is a next topic is geographical distribution of the Neolithic sites. There are Neolithic sites where spread over to almost all the regions of India is a subcontinent, and in the northern western region is the Maraghar classical site of Kanchi, explain of Balukistan. There is a excavation of the Maraghar as have revealed there is evidence of house built by the Neolithic people, and this were built of the sun-dried brick, and this house were to divide it into small room. The evidence of the cultivation of crop like a wheat, wells and the cotton were discovered there from here. The important site is the Kashmir Valley include Burzaham and the Gufro coral. There is a leveling spit and the other is a circular of rectangular at these sides from an important feature of the Neolithic culture. The Valence Valley is along this edge of the Vindhyan plateaus near the Allahabad, and the Uttar Pradesh also is many Neolithic sites such as the Koldiva as a Maghara. There is Neolithic tools is a both stone and the bone, and poetry other is a artifact. Flora and fauna is a remaining have been to form from these sites. And in a Vihar and the mid Gangotri Valley region is a Chiran went in the most popular Neolithic site. Several Neolithic sites are present cover the hill of the Assam, Meghalaya and Nagaland. And the tools like a Neolithic salt, a small ground axis along with there is a remind of poetry has been to found from this area. In the South India is a Neolithic settlement where discovered along the river Bhima, Krishna and Tungavodara and the Kaveri. Some important sites are the Sanghakula is a Brahmaris and Musk is a peculiar hall, and the hall there is a Karnataka. Uttanar is a Nagajukamda is the Buddhism is the Andhra Pradesh, and Payomambalis is the Tamil Nadu. This site has a yarded developing is a pitch along with there is a evidence of cultivation of the camels as a domestication of animal milters, ragis, and was one of the earliest crops is a cultivation by their villagers of South India. Here show the map. Here show the most important map here. Neolithic site is a Swedish Neolithic site is a square shape. A modern town is a triangle shape and present external boundary as their shape. There is the most important here and show their map. There is the most important. There is a maximum here. There is use of this side of Madras. There is the most important, and there is a people here live in this time. The next point here are substance of pattern. There is the most important here substance patterns. There are apart there are advent of agriculture mark a significant change in the Neolithic phase. There is a people cultivated to various kind of crops such as wheat, cereals, rice, millet, and is a lentil and etc. Depending on their geographically condition, agriculture is give a impetus is an animal and domestically, and hunting still is a remaining an important occupation. The people eat domestically animals which is included sheep, goat, cattle, etc. and also hunted the wild animals such as boar, nigai, jealous, etc. Different kind of stone tools were made by their people and there is already been to discuss it. The Netherlands peoples is also manufacture of pottery there which is initially their handmade and other is later turned on their wheels and the fire a large kilns. There was a major means of storage for the game and the nutshell we can say that is a Neolithic is a culture where is characterized by the change from the hunting and gathering to the cultivation of plant and domestically animal. The new is a polish is a tools made it easier for human to the cultivate. There is the most important here. New polish tools made it easier to the human cultivation, hunt and perform other activity in the better manner. It lead to the great ability of food resource as well as to be on increasing as a population, which is a term that resulted in their increasing in the number of village settlement. The Neolithic is a culture created the condition which is a help in the growth of town in the later period. Our next topic is here a prehistoric art. The prehistoric art is the most important topic here. The rock painting where is an important and distinctive feature of the Mesolithic peoples and though there is a beginning maybe a traced to the upper Paleolithic period and this painting are made on the walls of rock shatter a maximum which has been found at the Bhimbetka and Madhya Pradesh and this throws a light on the social and economical life on the Mesolithic people and the main subject of the painting are huntings, fishing and is a food gatherings. That is the most important. An animal like a boar, buffalo, monkey and the nilgai are there often to the depicted of this painting. And this social activity like there is a child birth, rearing of child and the burials ceremony and also showing there is a rock painting. This scenes of hunting in the groups or suggest that the Mesolithic people live in the small group. Thus, we can say that the Mesolithic society was a more stable than the one of the Paleolithic as and though there is a huntings and gatherings still remain it is a main is a preoccupation there is the most important and important also here to show the diagram. This diagram is the most important and this times of represent there is the most important diagram here.